Hey guys, so Lord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Target exclusive collect-to-build Starro Wave Ultraman. Now before we get into it here, let us first take a look-see at both the front and the back of the packaging. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, Ultraman does come with a collectible trading card featuring artwork from the source material, which I always prefer. If you guys have been watching my reviews for a while now, you already knew that. On the back, there's a bio. Pause and read it now at your own leisure. But long story short, Ultraman is a evil version of Superman who's even more of a douchebag than the regular Superman. So there you go. And while the DC Multiverse line has kind of been lacking in accessories lately, I think this guy's making up for that because he comes with this cool ass little Starro creature thing which wraps around the torso, and I quite like this. This is cool. If you're not going to give me like alt hands or weapons or anything, case in point the Hazmat Batman from the Amazovirus, give me a cool little creature like this and I will forgive you. That said, you want to wrap this around, it goes like so. Well, you know, you can wrap it around any way you want, but there you go. And last but certainly not least, he comes with the core of Starro. And I can only assume this is going to be either a Staction figure or possibly a Bendy figure. Only time will tell. We haven't even seen the other figures in this wave yet, but I can only assume that we're going to get, is it Superwoman, Owlman, and either Johnny Quick or Power Ring. I would like to get a Deathstorm in this line, though that would be an easy repaint since he is going to be in the Blackest Night wave too, but I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think that last figure is going to be. Taking a closer look at Ultraman here. He, of course, comes with the hockey puck display stand, which is actually useful here. Would have liked a flight stand, but it is what it is. And I gotta say, when I initially saw the promo images of this guy, they did not do him justice. He had a potato face. And while I do think his face sculpt looks something like Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20 or John Mayer, it looks alright. It looks like a decent face sculpt. It just looks like Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20 or John Mayer. Either way, though, he's got the red eyes going on. So I imagine if there is going to be a standard release of this guy, which knowing the Todd Father, there is, it'll have regular eyes, so that might actually be worth picking up. I don't know. I don't think I like Ultraman enough to do that, but it's a thought. It's a thought. He's got the U symbol on his chest there. Really soft material used for this cape. I mean, it's still kind of bulky at the bottom, but the midsection, it's really flexible, so it'll be easy to pose him around and get this out of the way. Not to mention, this is also a new sculpt. So it's a much bigger Superman-esque body, so I would hope that we'd see a regular Superman on it at some point. Knowing the Todd Father. Again, that's probably going to happen. But as far as articulation on this figure goes, his head can look up, can look down, can tilt pretty well, look side to side, shoulders hinge out to the side like that, back down, all the way around. Because the cape is soft, it does get out of the way. It does have that butterfly as well, and you can shift it here, there, and everywhere. Bicep swivel, double joint at the elbow. Not so much the Cliffs of Dover going on, maybe. It's just the hinge itself is too deep in there. If that was brought out, this would look super clean for a McFarlane Multiverse figure anyways. Ab crunch, he actually crunches forward. Holy shit. Forgot he did that. He crunches back too. But holy shit, he crunches forward. Look at that. I gotta give a round of applause here. Good for you, McFarlane. Figuring it out. Figuring it out. He also has a waist swivel. That works pretty well. Tilt side to side. You don't really get tilt up here, but you do get rotation. So I guess better than nothing. Hips. Kick out to the side. Pretty far. Stretches the diaper, but I'm not worried about tearing it or anything. Back down. Kick forward and back. Thigh cut. Not a lot. You get more in than you do out. Double joint at the knee. And much like the, well, the bottom knee isn't terrible, but the top one has a little bit of chunk cut out of it there, so that's not ideal, but they're better than some. And he also has the ball hinge ankle, so he can hinge up and down. The rocker, rotate side to side, and he has the toe joint, which is loose on that side and that side, so I just wish they'd get rid of the toe joints, because they're starting to get a little better with their articulation scheme. I think if they cleaned up the elbows and knees and got more of a crunch on some of their other releases instead of just one here and there, this would be a super kick-ass line. I mean, it already is, but let's be real here. It would be better with that. Did I go over the wrist articulation? He's got a ball hinge in the wrist. You can rotate it around and stuff. I will say, can't actually pop these out from the ball peg, so if you wanted to give him some smaller hands, you can do that, because I know his hands are a little bit on the large side, but he is kind of a powerhouse, so I kind of don't mind that. I think if anything, his feet seem a little small to me, but other than that, the proportions are okay. I don't mind him too much. He's got some nice broad shoulders going on there. Pretty good V shape. That superhero V shape is present here. I like the thickness of the arms and the legs. I like the length of the legs and the arms. Just a really solid buck. I just think the cuts could have been a little bit better implemented, and, you know, maybe cut out those toe joints, because those aren't doing anyone any favors, right? Well, with that being said, that's Ultraman in a nutshell. Not one of my favorite figures, but I'm looking forward to seeing who else they put on this body, because it's a decent sculpt. In a neutral stance. Posing him up, you gotta deal with some cuts and chunks missing here and there due to the articulation, but that's typically how articulation works, isn't it? With that being said, let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is Ultraman next to a couple other evil renditions of good old Superman, the Red Sun Superman, and Bizarro. And if we were to take all three of these figures and chuck them in a blender, I think we'd get the perfect Superman buck out of them. What do you guys think? And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus, 11th Spawn, who's not tearing over everyone today because Ultraman wins by the hair on his potato head there. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and even though I know next to nothing about good old Ultraman here, other than the fact that he is the leader of the crime syndicate and an evil version of Superman, although if you're like me, every version of Superman is evil, sorry not sorry, I do still think that this is a really solid addition to the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line, and if you're at all interested in completing the Starro collect-a-build figure, or if you just want a Crime Syndicate lineup from the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, then this is a definite must-have. But please, don't fret, don't overpay on eBay, don't be a dumbass, wait it out, he'll pop up again. Or, if you miss out on this Target exclusive version, then I'm sure he will be re-released with a different head at some point in the near to distant future, much like the Batman Beyond set. Or, better yet, wait until next year when they release this whole wave as a box set, And much like the Batman Beyond set, it'll go on clearance for half price. Yeah, that shit was 40 bucks. Your boy was not too happy about spending all the money he did on those figures just to see all 5 of them for 40 bucks. It is what it is, I suppose. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you are so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. If you haven't already, please hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when the promo pics give you a potato face. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.